Hey, welcome to the Hired AV podcast. My name is Joe Way, and I am your host. And do we have a good one for you today? Joining us is James King, the one and the only James King, because we can't handle more than one James King. Wait, James, what are you doing here?
I don't know. What am I doing here? I don't know what I'm doing. I'm here. I'm attending a conference. We had a HETMA in-person board meeting. First time
Ever HETMA in-person board meeting.
Yeah, that was.
And we weren't even bored.
No,
it was great.
Yes, it was. So, and checking out campus of USC and checking out ETC. This is a great time.
Yeah. Bad host didn't say we are coming to you live from ETC 2023 from the show floor, from the vendor show floor. We did a booth again.
Why are we doing booths? Because higher ed is important.
Higher ed is important. We did, it is amazing to think like why we do things, right? Like, because people have said that. They've said, hey, why would you have a higher ed organization go and put a booth at another higher ed organization's conference? Like, and I've had that. And so answer it. Why are we here? Why are we doing that?
To support our people.
Yeah.
Simple answer. Support our people. We are here to help and get the voices out of the higher ed folks. And that's what HETMA is about. That's what higher ed's about. We're about sharing knowledge, and HETMA encompasses that. And we show that by coming to other shows and supporting our people.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, I know I've overused this line, that higher ed is a community and collaborators, not competitors.
Yes.
Right. And so that idea that, hey, we're coming to an event where we believe in the vision and we believe in supporting our people. So we say, hey, we're going to now make sure we can continue to do that. And, lack of a better word, put our money where our mouth is.
Yeah. And that's one thing that has always impressed me with HETMA is we're not just words. We actually put actions and feelings and motive behind what we say. We say we're going to do something, we actually do.
Mm-hmm.
We're not just lip service, as some places are in the world, in the society.
And we just had a Raj Singh sighting. Oh my God, Tim sighting. You know what? Notre Dame takes precedence over USC. Oh, dang. Them if I now, my fraternity brothers really won't talk to me now. I'm wearing a UCLA shirt, and now I just bashed SC. I'm just kidding. I love SC. I love it. Still my alma mater. We're here. So, James, early thoughts. We're on day one. We're literally on I don't know what we're calling this: cocktail hour, vendor hour, showcase hour, whatever it is.
All of
all of the above, and we have a Chris. What, Chris Deck? Don't you touch my? Don't you? Wait. Hold on.
There you go.
Well, I need my own headset though. This isn't very cool.
Yeah. Well, you can hear us though.
Yeah.
I mean, you are
I like to hear my own dulcet tones.
Oh, you like? Well, you do have that silky, soft voice.
It's well practiced. James, what's up, man?
Not much. How's it going?
What are you guys talking about?
We just started. We were talking about, well, first, that we're coming from a booth. It's like we have a habit of doing booths now.
I guess 2 is a habit. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's not an accident.
Fair enough.
So, all right. So, well, I guess first off, I mean, AV Super Friends, everybody knows them. But Chris, please tell people who you are, what you do.
Well, am I here as HETMA, as AV? Which hat am I wearing right now?
You know what? Pick a hat. Pick a hat, any hat.
You're not wearing a hat.
Damn it. This is
That
this is radio, James. This is theater of the mind. So I guess multiple roles. So I'm here attending the conference as the manager of instructional technology for the University of Wyoming. I am wearing an AV Super Friends shirt and doing a bunch of AV Super Friends stuff under the table because that's more fun. Let me rephrase that. That sounded terrible. Unofficially, because it's more fun. And then also I'm helping out with HETMA as the education chair, however I can. So.
Awesome. So what are your thoughts on the conference so far? All 12 minutes of it.
No, I've been here since like noon. So I was just in a session led by Kramer on kind of building community in the education, higher education world, which I think is good. It's always nice to have manufacturers ask open and get open feedback from people on what's working and what doesn't.
Yeah.
So I think that was a worthwhile session and a lot of good stuff coming out of that. So.
Awesome. So what is work? So go through that. And I think it's important, having those. But before you stepped in, I was saying, how we're collaborators.
Yes, I realize I've now
work.
like bogarted and derailed your entire
Wait, hold on. Do I look like someone who has a plan on anything I do?
And trust me, no one wants to hear me speak.
Echo.
James has a list of 27 things I can see it right here. He's going to talk about. I'm kidding. So.
Radio, Chris.
What was the question? I forgot.
It was just about the importance. So talk about the session, the Kramer, but more
yeah.
in general, like that whole idea of the feedback.
So yeah, it was an interesting conversation from the standpoint of, from a manufacturer perspective, it was kind of offering some ideas, but also asking for some feedback. Hey, here's what we have in mind. Here's what we'd like to do. Does this make sense to you?
Mm-hmm.
Can we, as a manufacturer, help you in any way? How do products get developed? How do we find what works? And, as is my shtick at this point, I give very brutally honest feedback. If something is a shit show, I'll tell them it's a shit show. You have a bleep button on there. Don't you have to hit that? So.
Well, you know what? Don't make me put the explicit tag
Have
on.
you noticed I've been listing every episode of mine as explicit for like the last 2 years because it's just easier that way. But also, gathering faculty feedback, student feedback. How do you then determine what's a good solution for a space, not just buying this model widget because we had the older one in there before and this is the new one? So rethinking what a learning space is. How do you make it effective for teaching and learning? Because at the end of the day, the people who matter, the faculty and the students, don't care what the silk screened on the touch panel or what the projector logo is or whatever.
Yeah.
As much as we love our manufacturer partners, I'll flip them on a dime if I have to. So, I have loyalty to them as far as it is of value to me. I am there to support the mission of the institution, not what model display is on the walls.
Yep. And I'll say flipping on a dime is better than flipping them off.
I'll do that too. I do that for fun.
So I actually have a question for you, Chris, because this piqued my interest. Where do you think that conversation stemmed from? You've been in the industry for a while. Joe's been in for a while. I would say I'm still a newbie, but like seasoned. But when I first started, it was
James,
always
honestly, if you were there pre-COVID,
You're a veteran. Yeah.
all right. So, but it was always in the future. In the past, it was like, this is what you do in higher ed. This is what you do, from people not in higher ed.
Yes.
But now they're coming to us and go, tell us why you think.
probably because some of us aren't buying their stuff. So, I mean, there are very large manufacturers out there who are still, and I will be honest about it, ignoring the higher ed market. They're thinking, how can I shoehorn this into like UCC business land, like conference room land, or into like this generic, like nebulous, it's government, whatever, and there are manufacturers who still have that, and that's fine because they're losing market share. So, I think we all know who I'm talking about. I will name them, but it will aggravate people here. But let's just say it starts with one letter and ends with another. But I'll back off.
And they can read between the letters.
Yes. But I think some of them are honest about that, and they're recognizing there's sales opportunities. Others, I think, are seeing maybe a potential for not every space has to start with the default start of like, I need that 6RU giant box all-in-one that does everything, because not every manufacturer makes those. And those who do, they've been very successful, but that is very much a model from like 2010, 12, 13.
Yep.
And I know there are schools out there who are still very successful buying exactly that. But there's manufacturers who never made that now saying like, well, you don't need that. You just need one of these and one of those and one of these. You can do everything related to that. So I think we're seeing a lot of that. I think we're also seeing manufacturers getting involved because they're coming at it from the, forgive my term on this, the kind of the more generification, the consumerification of it, because people are at home for 2 years, 3 years, whatever. Some of us only for 4 weeks, but that's fine. Where, hey, that, you know, that Logitech camera, that Hudley camera, whatever, this little thing, that did great. Hey, wait, we can put these in a classroom. This actually works pretty well in there. So now we're starting to see different manufacturers who 10 years ago either they didn't exist or they were not part of our ecosystem, now being a big part of the ecosystem. So it really has shaken stuff up.
Absolutely.
If that sort of answers your question.
It does.
All right.
Yeah. No, that's good. Chris, thank you for joining us for this couple minutes.
Throw this at somebody else really, really hard, or just set it down gently?
You know what? I'm going to give you the choice.
I'll set it down. I know it's precious to you guys.
And by the way, the podcast we're here to it's open to you to use. If you want to record some episodes while you're here, jump on in at any time. All right.
I'll leave you guys to it.
Thank you very much. We'll be here. We literally will be here all week and into the
I
weekend.
didn't notice on your shirt, USC is spelled incorrectly.
I know he's pointing to my UCLA. I you notice that Imran hasn't come and taken a picture of me yet. He's gone to all other booths but us, and I think Imran, he's our old student worker. He won't. Imran, am I allowed to get pictures with? Airbrush it out. You got to pay your mortgage. You got to pay your mortgage, right?
Especially in California.
Oh, in California, big time. You got to pay that mortgage.
Yeah.
All right. So we're here. I know before Chris came in, we talked a little. We were going with the conference. This is your first time at an ETC.
Correct.
So on Friday or whenever we're closing up the booth, I'm going to ask you this question again, but on the opposite side. So what are you anticipating? What are you looking forward to? Because in a couple of days, I wanted you to give did it live up to, or what were your thoughts?
So what I look for in any kind of trade show, conference is networking with people. I've already started that already. Met some couple of people I have not met before, which is hard to believe, but great networking, branching out, but also the education sessions. Anyone who knows me, I'm always about learning, always about growing. I looked at the list of sessions that ETC is having, and I'm like, this one sounds interesting. This one sounds interesting. So I'm actually excited to see what kind of knowledge I bring back from places like this.
Yeah. And that's the whole thing is like, I think the default answer is like, oh, it's hanging with my people and it's that. And it is, right? Let's not take away. But the fact that we can learn from each other. And it was, think about it. In our HETMA board meeting we just finished, we were going through kind of what is our identity? Who are we? What do we do? And the comment was brought up of, are we really education? And because we don't necessarily do classes or whatever, but it's like, yeah, but no, we learn from each other. And that's the thing about like our virtual conference. It's the fact that we have enough knowledge collectively that's what makes sessions like this at like an ETC exciting, because we're going to learn from each other.
Yeah, and that's why, like, if anyone listened to my keynote back a couple months ago at the
Midwest AV Summit. Yeah, great. That was great.
It's about community. It's about building and branching out, because not one community can answer everything, because then you get into an echo chamber. So you hit the other one and you learn and you grow, you build your network, and you get solutions to problems that you may not even know you had.
Yeah. Some problems I didn't even know. I don't need more problems, James. I don't need more problems.
Oh, you got more problems.
Well, that's true. Is it Snoop Dogg have a who's all right. I don't know. I know people are going to tweet me whose song it is. Anyway, all right. So I guess we're going to kind of close. We're doing clips. So those of you who got a chance to listen to our podcast stuff from Infocom. Oh, I get my no, we did little clips. We're going to bring people in. We're going to have some conversations throughout the day, throughout these 3 days. So with that, we're going to go ahead and close up this session. We'll see you all back here, show floor at ETC 2023. All right, we are here on the show floor. Well, kind of the vendor floor. It's not the show floor here.
It's the VIP lounge.
The VIP lounge. You know what? Hey, this kind of I like my spot. I love my little entry, you know.
Yeah.
We are here at ETC 2023 at the campus of the University of Southern California. I've heard of that campus before.
Probably know your way around.
You know what? I still remember where all the bathrooms are. That's a good thing.
Nice.
But we are here well, I guess first, before we get into the conversation, Scott, please tell people who you are, what you do.
Yep. My name is Scott Sanders, and I am with Sennheiser as a business development manager. So my job 100% is customer facing. So I handle the customers, make sure they have the product to evaluate, information they need to make a good decision.
Yep. Awesome. And you do it well. In fact, you have your whole team here. You've got an entourage.
It is. Yeah. This is a big show for us. We take it serious.
So all right, we'll talk about that. Why do you bring such a big entourage? What are you guys showing? You know, what are you looking to get out of this show?
Actually, it's probably not what you're expecting to hear. We are certainly happy to tell the story, right? That's our job. We're evangelists of the brand and of the technology, but more importantly, to learn. Since this is a learning experience, I think there's a lot to be learned from a vendor perspective, from the people at the street level, in the trenches, making stuff work every single day. Understand what works, what doesn't work, what they'd like to see different. Taking that information back. In fact, we have one of the people on our team is from Germany. Mm-hmm. So out here with regards to asking the right questions, talking to the people and finding out what we need to do different to continue to develop products that are relevant.
Yeah. And I think that's one of the things. It's funny because a little behind the scenes, you interviewed me right before this interview for your people back at at the headquarters.
Right.
And one of the things I said, that's one thing I respect about Sennheiser is you're there and you're present all the time, which shows how you really do care about us. I mean, we know. I mean, we're not dumb. We all know everyone wants to sell products, right? But the fact is, there's a difference. There's this. Let me ask you, and you've always said that to me. Like, let me ask you this question. What are you seeing here? What are you saying? And I think that's the mentality of the entire company. And do you see that more so here when you get higher ed people together? I like to call it our little mini think tank.
I do actually, and my role is basically on two parallel paths. I handle multinational corporations, the Googles and Meta, Facebooks of the world, and higher ed. And the psychology is uniquely different. When you get into the corporate world, they have the same pain points. It's the same room, the same equipment. They just call it different things. An all-hands space versus an auditorium versus a learning lab. What's different is they don't want to talk.
Yeah.
They have the passions and the pain, but they can't talk to anybody, and they're kind of an island amongst themselves, where here it's let's get together, throw everything on the table, sort it out, figure out how we can empower each other, be partners. I hear that word a lot, and it's not just a catchphrase. It is a goal. It's kind of a driving force of not only the show, but also HETMA as well, where we're all in this together. Let's make it work.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love that. And I feel it here. I get energized. It's funny because even before the show started, I had a long weekend, a little tired. I walk in the door. I'm like, let's go. This is our people. This is what we're here for. And then I run into people like you. We see, it's like, this is what we do. And I always brought about the impact. So for you and for Sennheiser, what do you get the most out of this? When you go home on Saturday, where you're going to go, this is what I'm glad I came for, what I take away from it.
Actually, my goal is to get an invitation. Ideally, in the perfect world, it would be, hey, this technology looks pretty cool. There's something here that's caused some level of interest. We would love to have you out for a play date. Let's set this stuff up, plug it in. One of three things is going to happen. It's going to work, it's not going to work, or it's going to work and sound funny, right? Luckily, number one is usually what happens, but I learned about my product. I learned about competitive product. We learn more about each other, right? Yep. Being on campus and understanding that their rooms are a little different than the rooms of the campus that I may have visited in another state.
Yep.
And for me, it's the continuance of the relationship. It's not just an opportunity to make a pitch. If I have to pitch the product, my personal opinion is I'm selling the wrong product. I love to plug it in. Let's put some headphones on or make a call and listen to it on the far end. Go from there.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And I always respect that about you. So you made a comment about getting an invite. Let's talk about the last time we saw each other was in my tween jobs time. You found a cool little restaurant that made most unique bar in that it said a bespoke drink where you picked. Explain that.
Two adjectives. Yes,
Uh-huh.
you get a chance to pick whatever your favorite spirit is,
Uh-huh.
and then two adjectives. So it could be spirit forward, it could be smoky, it could be sweet, it could be a number of things. Which immediately you pulled out your app and got all the adjectives, right?
Uh-huh.
Added some to their list. That was a good afternoon.
That was really cool. It was such a unique experience. I've told that story so many times. It was like,
Nice.
It was great. So
Perfect day.
Yeah,
Sun was out. Outside dining.
It was. It got a little hot.
Good
actually.
company. Yeah.
Yes. Well, it's always good company when you're around.
Thank you so much.
So thank you. It's a pleasure to see you here. I wish you the best show. Hopefully, it gets you many invites. And we will talk to you soon. How can people get a hold of Sennheiser to get more information?
Well, Sennheiser.com, or my personal email address is scott.sanders, SANDERS, at Sennheiser.com.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Joe. Appreciate it.
All right, we are back and we are live at ETC 2023 with a 40 under 40 winner of the host school here at USC. So congratulations, Hunter.
Thank you, sir.
It's good having you here. Sorry, I just threw you onto the show.
It's okay.
I
can't make any promises on my level of presentation.
Well, you're a 40 under 40 now, so there's a certain expectation of greatness.
I guess so. Yeah.
So, all right. So, first off, you're the host school. So talk a little bit about the show and the importance of of hosting a conference like this.
Oh, I don't really know what to say about that. I don't know. The show turned out really well. I'm just looking around the room here. We got a lot of wonderful people, a lot of great partners and manufacturers here. And I think it really exceeded expectations. It's, an honor to be a host school in situations like this because, we kind of get to show off a little bit of what we've been able to do as a team here. And then also just to be able to provide the space for something like this networking type event to take place is a real cool thing to be a part of.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. It's really cool. Obviously, as everyone knows, I've now been gone for 3 weeks or so officially. A month and a half though, really for 3 months. I bailed this whole summer.
It's really been quite some time.
Yeah. So it's interesting to kind of be here and see it come together from the other side. And first off, kudos to you all. You pulled it off well.
Thank you, sir.
But this is the greatest conference for me because I get all the kudos for the great classrooms and zero of the stress.
There you go.
None of it. No. So, all right. So let's now move to, as people may or may not know, obviously you were on my staff at USC. You were on my staff at Cal Baptist as one of my very first student workers. And now you serve as a project manager here at USC. Talk a little bit about your role, kind of what you're excited to even just show off here.
Yeah, so my role at USC, as you mentioned, is project manager. So, we do all of the learning environments here at USC. Some of the notable projects that I got to be a part of is our digital creative lab. So I'm just kind of responsible for being the liaison between a lot of different parties that are involved, coordinating our team and external resources, and just trying to make sure things go as smoothly as possible and just hit that timeline, beat that timeline if possible, and deliver the vision out basically in a tangible way.
Yeah. And and obviously you always knock it out of the park with that.
Oh,
so
thank you.
No surprise there. It was cool walking through the creative lab and actually seeing it open. I came on Saturday for the little NFT event that was held. And why do I we were on this project for like a year and a half. You wait till I leave to open it? Seriously, I'm gone for 2 weeks.
We had to, make you rethink your decision a little bit.
Oh, no, I made a great decision.
No.
Yeah. It's a wonderful decision. Let's talk now. Just kidding. Let me talk about how awful it is for you that you're not just kidding. You lost the best boss ever.
That is a fact. Yeah.
Well, thank you. That's good. It's good.
Absolutely.
Good kudos. What? Don't shake your head, Aaron. All right. So let's talk about the 40 under 40. How do you feel about that? Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, I was really shocked to know I was nominated. I appreciate all the support and everything that you helped me personally with my career and just my growth as a person. It's really an honor, and I think that there's a lot of really awesome people. Everybody on the list is really awesome, amazing people who have done really great things in the industry, and I think there's even more people that are deserving of the role of that award. And yeah, I just feel really honored to just be considered amongst those people.
Yeah, well, you deserve it. It's been an honor watching your career grow and see you come into your own. But it's awesome. Well deserved. So congratulations to that.
Thank you.
Kind of a last question. What are you hoping to get out of the show here at ETC? When Saturday comes and it's over, what are you hoping to take away?
Just meeting more people. I think that there's a lot of higher education people here that I haven't had the pleasure of meeting at previous conferences, and just haven't had the opportunity to see them, and I don't know, just other events that we've been to. So just building that network out, getting to meet people who have either similar roles or just like involved in the higher education as a whole, and just starting to strengthen that network even more in that group.
Yeah, no, totally agree. This is our people. It's cool to see. It's cool to feel.
Yeah.
And the best part when you're a host campus is where all the bathrooms are.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, Hunter. If people want to connect with you and get to know you, how can they do that?
Oh, geez. You can. I don't really have much social media. I'm on Facebook, Hunter Stacy, and then my work email.
Don't give it out online.
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 You want more spam.
I don't want more spam.
Okay, yeah. Find them on LinkedIn.
Yeah, LinkedIn. That's the best spot.
Wait, hold on. And I was in on day before yesterday.
Right.
I got my esports jersey.
Me too.
I know. And yours has a weird name on it. I guessed it was. What is your your Twitch title?
Oh, my gaming name on everything is some variation of Nutter Butter, the cookies.
Yeah, I when they were calling it out and who's what, and they said it, and I'm like, I think that's Hunter.
Yep, that'd be me.
that was rad. The esports. By the way, if anyone gets a chance to come to USC, go check out the Digital Creative Lab, the esports, and all that. Make sure you make a hologram of yourself.
Definitely.
All right. Hey, thank you much, Hunter.
Thank you, sir.
All right, we are back, and we are here on the show floor-ish, the hallway outside the show floor at ETC 2023. We have AV royalty because it helps my ratings when I bring in people who will retweet the thing. And what?
It's true.
It is true. The one and only Chris Netto. Please tell people who you are, what you do.
How you doing? My name is Chris Netto. I am the market development manager at Starin. You can find us at starin.biz. We are a distributor. A bunch of our brands are here represented at ATC. We're also a supporting partner of HETMA. So for us, this is get to be with our people.
It is. Well, it's my people.
It's your people.
It is my people. But is it really like? Why does a distributor come here? I mean, and you and Jen both came out.
Mm-hmm.
So why do you go? This is where we have to be.
Yeah. Well, first of all, the education community is an important community to us as a distributor, because we are working with the integrator partners that made this an important factor, important vertical for them. So there's one way I can do it. I can rely on integrators to come back and tell me what the universities are doing, or I can come here for myself and find out and ask what it is that your pain points are. And for me as a distributor, whether it's the product lines that I'm working or we're looking to discover new lines that may solve your problems, then we're now helping our integrators by being here. We're not exactly, somebody who is dealing with the end user itself, but this is the best way to get product information, find out what you guys need, what you want, and to see what the trends are. And that's important as as equipment and a service provider. To our integrated partners, we want to be able to kind of be ahead of the curve. We'd be dumb if we weren't asking you guys what it is that you guys are looking to do. And on top of that, you guys like to work in like 3 to 5 year spans. So
Slow.
it works for
Really slow.
works
It's the
for
speed
me.
of higher ed.
Yeah,
It's the
speed of higher ed.
ed.
Speed of higher ed works well for business developers and market developers like me
Yeah.
because I don't operate in the 30, 60, 90 scale. So knowing that what's coming, what you guys are moving into helps us focus our product, focus our service all around, just take care of our integrators better, which ultimately will end up taking care of you guys.
Yeah, no, that's great. And so when you come here and you are talking to us and you are talking to the people that you distribute.
Yep.
Who gets more value in the end? The integrator, because you're dealing with the integrators and you're dealing with the manufacturers, right? That's who's paying your bills, those
Correct.
different sides. Yeah. But then I'm not necessarily paying your bills. I mean, in the back end, I know if the channel ends up getting there. Mm-hmm. So who gets more value, me as a customer or the integrators, manufacturer partners, by you all being here?
I would love to tell you it's a 50-50 split because as a former technology manager myself, I understand the pain points. So knowing that my voice is being heard in multiple places is important. You can deal directly with D10. You can deal directly with NEAT. You can have that relationship. Doesn't ensure that they're really truly hearing what it is that you're going for.
Yeah.
Now they're very focused on a wall solution, but ultimately your pain point may be how to control that or how to expand the audio beyond a sound bar. And it's something that I have to, as a former consultant and as a technologist myself, I want to know those struggles.
Yeah.
Because yes, you can continue using that wall thing. That's probably the best solution for you, but there's probably other things that they're gonna shut out because it's not related to an all-in-one device, for example.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
for me to understand that and to move, going back to our integrators and saying, UCLA is using, a whiteboard system. It's great. That's awesome. But you understand that these classrooms are now 50, 60, 120, 200 person conference rooms. Like, how are we going to take that experience that they like and move that to a bigger scale? And that's where the integration side comes. And then I can come back to my consultants and to the integrators and say, hey, man, let's design something to work a little bit better for them. And there's all these products that they need to see. So it's putting products and manufacturers in front of you guys that, you get pelted with stuff every day, all day. So maybe there is something of a niche that would fit into what you guys are looking for.
Yeah, no, I love that. And I think you're right on. And everyone who knows me knows how, it's actually part of the even reason that HETMA was even founded was because of the importance of connecting the entire channel line, not just it's integrator, end user. Integrator, end user is where we focus because that's where end user sits. Yeah. But you have to go all the way back to the beginning to product development and delivery and those. Yeah. In order to really have a successful solution at scale. And there's Jen Weaver, the ally of the year, walking by. We just had a star sighting right here in front of us.
Yes, you did.
Yeah. And she's going to be on the show later. Don't worry.
Yes.
And what?
So going back to your roots, you're 100% right. And to reiterate what I bring to that, if you don't have the access or the ability to go back to the manufacturer and say, this is great, but it's not, all these features are not truly hitting on the features that we're looking for on the higher ed side. Because we all know that higher ed plays with parts and pieces that corporate doesn't necessarily play with. So having that input back to the manufacturers that it needs to be, interactive or it needs to play nice with our LMS, right, and all that other stuff that you guys do that are very specific and niche to higher ed, that's important. And if to a manufacturer, to hear from you is great. To hear from somebody else makes it that much better. To hear from a third person, now they're starting to see the demand is there, and that's how you force demand, and you force them to go back to the drawing boards and adding the pieces to the puzzle that will make it higher ed friendly. Where 90% of the products that were up until HETMA and knowing the history of how you started this thing, products were made in a vacuum, right? They were made and they were sent down and, hey, we think you'll like this. Well, that's awesome, but I don't need that. I need this. Then they go back and how about this? Like, great. That fits really nice in with the corporate world, but it still doesn't address the need that we need in a conference room. In a conference room, yes, but not in a classroom. Can you guys add that? It's a lot of back and forth. Yep. The minute you add one or two people, it's like showing up with pitchforks and and torches. Like, at this point, we demand that this feature be added because this is what is missing.
Yep.
And that is, we're just adding to the voices, adding to the call for, to change the direction, to add to the trends that you guys are seeing. Because as we know, for the last 3 years, everything got disrupted
Yep.
because of COVID. So after that, what now needs to happen? Things that worked in 2019 don't necessarily apply to what it is today. Or
Yeah.
better yet, things that were in development in 2019 are even louder focused now. And they need to understand that they, meaning the manufacturers who are creating, developing these products, they're not in the classrooms. They're not with your students. They're not roaming, from classroom to classroom, or, whatever the percentages of the ones that are not going to be in a physical space. So where's that connectivity? Where's that outside piece to it that is demanding, and necessary for these classrooms of 2024 and beyond is what's important.
Yeah, absolutely. You make interviewing people easy. So let's switch really quickly.
Sure.
2 nights ago, we went to a rock and roll mecca. What were your thoughts? Your first time in LA? Let's talk about that.
Okay, so this is definitely, I've traveled a lot. I've been to a lot of places, but this is definitely the first time in LA. And I am of the age that, I grew up reading the metal magazines and the rock magazines, right? And I had older cousins and older family members and the fans of the Led Zeppelin that passed on the love of Led Zeppelin to me. And to stand outside the Whiskey at a place, the Whiskey A Go-Go, which is a known rock joint, right? And to stand out there knowing that Led Zeppelin played there and that Chicago was the house band for many years.
Yeah.
Before they were even Chicago, they were the Chicago Transit Authority, and their importance in rock and roll, and to know that these shows took place, and to be at that corner and then to look down the street and see the Roxy, and to know that they go afterwards to the Rainbow to eat pizza, and Lemmy sat in the same chair that I sat at having pizza. That means something. Like, to me, that's rock history. To me, that should be protected, sacred ground. But that's not the way it works, as we discovered that the Troubadour,
it's not even there
it's
anymore.
not even there.
I didn't even know it. I was so sad.
Yeah,
I was so sad.
We're gonna have to start up some legislation to protect these sacred.
Absolutely.
These are. I mean, to some people, there are places in this world that are absolutely, a part of the fabric of our history. Sun Records in Nashville, right? You got the Fillmore up in San Francisco, the Whiskey, the Stone Pony in Jersey. Like, these are places that birthed some of the greatest, acts that ever came out of the U.S.
Yeah.
And a lot of even some of our brethren from the UK that came over, they played in some of these places when they were unknowns, right?
Yep.
So to me, these should be protected spaces. And obviously we have a lineage in AV where we come from these backgrounds. This is where you started, right? I mean, people don't know that. And, this Sunset Strip was your territory.
Those are my stomping grounds in the early days. I did get my start in live music as a little roadie for that was your start. I'm sure there's hundreds of other AV people that have their start in the music side. And at one point we're working for the bands that got their start in those famous rock clubs. So I appreciate that. To me, I was a kid in a candy store looking at every picture, every autograph, looking at, the history of it. To me, there was no better experience. I just wanted to drive by and take a picture, no less. Getting able to sit in the red leather chairs that they had at the Rainbow. And I honestly, if you aren't somebody who has come to LA, if you don't make a pilgrimage to there, I would have been doing it in service. I have no interest in going to Disney. I have no interest in going to anywhere else. To me, that's what I grew up with. The music that was playing on my cassettes and the mixtapes that I were making, and Motley Crue and Rat and the hair metal bands. And even before that with the 70s, rock, that those hair metal bands were inspired by the T-Rexes and that. And, to me, that was absolutely one of the bucket list items that I had, and I appreciate you taking the time to show me that. It was a fun night, so I'm glad we got to experience that together. One of the last questions. So did the Rainbow's Pizza pass the Chris Neto test?
Okay. So I've been asked this because I spent many years making pizza, and you have to see, to me, the Rainbow Pizza is a situational pizza. And I'll explain what I mean by that. Appearance, looks, fits the proper pizza thing. Hand cut pepperoni was pretty much what we had with some sausage on it. We're not going to talk about what the other side of the table ordered because that was an abomination of a pizza. I ordered a pretty standard pizza.
Yeah.
Now, granted, the pizza, would it pass New Jersey standards? No, it had too much flop. You picked it up.
Yeah,
and
it did. It did.
I needed like a fork, a knife, a scoop to get it off even your slice. So from a pizza, I couldn't fold it. It was very hard to do. But in the situation, if you spent the entire night drinking and hanging out, playing at a nightclub, and you were maybe possibly
A little
inebriated, it is absolutely what you want, equivalent to the greasy, sandwich that you would have in Jersey at a grease truck at the time when it was before they were called fancy food trucks. You would get a greasy burger, greasy cheesesteak or something. The grease on that pizza was absolutely proper for 2 to 3 o'clock in the morning. So from that, if you would have asked me at 2, 3 in the morning, that pizza would have probably got a 5-star rating.
Indeed.
And for dinner, it was an experience, but I can see why people would want that. There was more left on the tray than actually made it to my plate. But yeah, it is what it is. And for the situation, it was absolutely right. For that moment, I could see why people were big fans of it.
Absolutely. I like that. That was I did not expect, I was like, get back. No,
dude, I'm a budding connoisseur of pizza.
You had a process. All right. All right. Just last question again. How can people connect with you and then learn more about Starin?
No, awesome. So Starin is Starin.biz. That's our website. We are one of the Midwich Group companies. So you can find Midwich Group throughout the world. We're numerous companies. We recently acquired a couple companies here in the U.S. and Canada, SFM Marketing, 76 Media. We're growing. We're moving into other spaces. You can find Starin across all the socials as Starin_marketing. You can find me on Twitter, Chris_Neto. On LinkedIn, I'm the only Chris Neto CTS. I don't have the fancy 3 letters after my name like you do, but I do have my I do have my doctorate in thugonomics.
Yeah, that works. And then something else happens on Sunday mornings.
Yes, AB in the AM Sunday mornings, hashtag AB in the AM. That is what I'm now known for. And
you're wearing the shirt.
I'm definitely wearing the baseball jersey. We did win our first softball game. I'm not going to say that the team doesn't exist. It does. And if you would like to ask me more questions about that, please hit me up on Twitter. I'll tell you all about my beer league that I put together.
And wait a minute. I just realized, did we just lose an opportunity to have Not Joe interview Not Neto?
Absolutely. We can do the both.
Yeah.
And they're very similar, very, very likeness, they will be in competition come
I know.
Come InfoCom for who will get the most selfies. I guarantee it.
I think there will be a challenge involved.
But dude, the fact that you're wearing flip-flops in yours is so California.
It is perfect. did great. This is fantastic.
Jen Weaver gets the credit.
Weaver did that. Yeah, that's great. All right. Thank you so much, Chris. Always a pleasure to have you on.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Take care. And here we are. Not Joe is now recording live at ETC with the real Jen Weaver.
The real Jen Weaver.
Is there a not Jen?
There's not yet.
There's not yet a not.
There's
Jen.
not yet a not Jen.
And all right. So first off, thank you for my cool little gift.
You're welcome.
And so those who aren't watching the video, there's a little Funko Pop of me. And would you like to explain it?
So it's of Joe. It is Joe in his UCLA colored shirt with his shorts and his sandals on, and a microphone and a scepter.
The scepter is so great. You know how to feed my ego well. Yes.
So when I asked, I said, I am putting a scepter on there. And some people weren't sure. And I said, I could probably put the scepter on there and Joe would totally understand why I put that on.
100%. I love it. I love it.
Oh,
it is
good.
I was sending pictures of it to my team, to my wife, everyone. I'm like, look.
Everybody's probably jealous.
I love it. No, it's pretty cool.
It is cool.
It is.
He is really cool.
So
not as cool as you though, but
well, so you really are kissing up. Rookie move by the host. I did not have you introduce yourself. Please tell people who you are and what you do.
My name is Jennifer Weaver, and I am the Business Development Manager for Education at Starin. and we are a distributor, and we are a huge supporter of the higher ed community.
Yep. Yeah. So, but you're a distributor. You have nothing to do here. Why are you even here? Why are you bothering us? Why would you come to an event like this if we can't buy through you?
You don't buy from us, but I help to influence potentially what you can buy.
Mhm.
So I come in and say, here's the new product. Like we have just brought on Origin Acoustics for audio. We have a new edit share program.
Fun fact, Origin is going to make a HETMA branded
Yes,
speaker.
they are.
I don't know if I was supposed to say that yet,
I don't
but
know
there
if
we
you
go.
were
Now, guess
supposed
what?
to say
Breaking
that.
news.
Breaking news. You sometimes have breaking news with me on your show.
You know why? A lot of things are break because I'm the worst at holding a secret.
So am I.
So I
That's certain
don't
things.
really mean to break it often,
It
but I just do.
Yeah, it's all right. So I just help. I come, I mingle, I figure out what you guys are doing within the higher ed community, what you like, what you dislike. You know, a couple colleges are going through product evaluations. So I can work with the manufacturers and get the product. Because, you know, if you work sometimes with the resellers, they want to know how many are you going to buy and when are you going to buy and when's the project going to close. I just want to make sure you're buying the right product for what your need is, whether it's my product or it's not my product.
Yeah. And so when you come to a show like this, what do you look to get out of it? Like, where does the value for you? Not necessarily staring, but for you because I know you were also a former teacher.
I am a former teacher. Yes, I was. What I love to get out of it is what everybody's doing. Like, what's the pain points? What's the plan? How are you helping the professors? Because it's still about the professors in the classroom and making sure that the students are getting what they need. So I just talk and network and learn. Basically, I'm learning because that's the only way I think I can help service the higher ed communities if I'm learning what the higher ed communities do.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's kind of the key. That's why I love events like this. I love that we have, an opportunity to come together because we're a very unique vertical, the ability to collaborate with one another, to be able to share ideas, be able to meet and mix and mingle and find the solutions that work up and down the channel. And that's what's important to me. So then while you're here, well, one, I love that your LinkedIn starts with HETMA supporter.
Yes.
But so again, with the higher ed vertical, where do you kind of see where are the trends? You walk here, you're not a higher ed person who's going, I got to find a solution for XYZ. Right. You're not a manufacturer who's going, I'm trying to sell this. So where you can look from an outside, bigger picture, what is the big picture of what we're seeing in our vertical?
There's a lot of budgeting right now going on. And it seems like the life cycle of product is at an end, meaning we've done our budget. We've had product in the classrooms for so long. Now we need to reevaluate. So in just about everybody that I've talked to so far, they're in the process of evaluating and looking for product for that next fiscal year of classrooms going in, which is astonishing to me because it seems like everybody's doing it for some reason at the same time.
Yeah.
And not staggered.
I know why.
Why?
I know why.
Do you know why?
I know why.
Because I have a feeling it had something to do potentially with COVID.
Absolutely. Because we all upgraded all at the same time, which means we're all coming off warranty at the same time and end of life at the same time.
Okay.
And it will even out because not every school is like a 4 or 5 year. Like here, when I was at USC, we were a 4-year life cycle. Okay. So we're going to be doing it now, right?
Yes.
Most are 5-year life cycles. You're going to see that. And then, of course, there will be others that will trickle. But that's why you're seeing this big thing now.
Okay. So
and I called it. I said it. I told people 2 years ago it was going to happen.
That makes sense now because that's what I thought. I hadn't asked the question, but that's what I thought because you had to do something.
That's exactly it. And then and the value of what we do got amplified during the pandemic. And so even if you were a school that maybe you didn't go all out in all of the ceiling light, all that stuff, but now you're having to think of next life cycle of the things that you had, you might be looking that way. You might now be looking at better, more integrated solutions. And that's just kind of the natural, flow. And, the band-aiding things isn't going to pass anymore. It's
not passing anymore.
And so, I think that's the trend. And when I look at it, I think that's it.
Okay. Well, that makes sense. Because that's what everybody seems to be telling me, which is great for me because then I can help you get the product in your hands without it being a purchase. It just helps you take it, look at it, do projector shootouts, do camera shootouts. I was having a couple conversations yesterday and brought up Bird Dog because they're NDI and that's what some people are looking for. So we have the ability to get that in your hands and take a look at it.
Yeah, music. And we have, wait, hold on. We got, here we go. Oh, hold on. We got people joining our recording.
Joining the recording.
Let me, hold on. I gotta figure out which one it is. All right. Did it come on?
Testing.
It didn't come on. Oh, this is not good. See, rookie moves. This is what happens. We're live. And, when no, it's supposed checky 1, 2. It should be on. Yeah, we're yeah. We are recording. We are recording live from you know what? It helps when I bring up the correct fader. You know what? Here we go. One of our favorite integrators, because they are huge supporters and
they are huge supporters
of HETMA. You can't see on the camera, but please introduce yourself.
Hi, everybody. I'm Jordan Finch. I'm the local account manager with AVI SPL, global national integration company, and huge fans of HETMA.
You know what's beautiful? I forgot you're holding a microphone that can move. You can actually walk around here and stand right here.
Yes, you can.
You can. Let's go. Let's go around. Yeah. Well, you see, rookie move. It's like I'm only on episode 226.
But it's live.
Well, it's not really live. It's recorded.
It's recorded, but it's not technically.
All right, there we go. See, there we go. Now we have celebrities on.
We have celebrities.
We have celebrities. All right, now say again who you are.
Okay, yeah. So I'm Jordan. I'm the California account manager for AVI SPL, and we are a global national brand, huge supporters of HETMA and Joe and USC, and just super happy to be here.
And UCLA.
And UCLA.
And all higher ed institutions across the country.
I can't believe I'm saying that. I'm already,
I'm still getting used to it.
It's just, you know what?
It'll take a few.
Not for me. No, not for me. I know one place is paying my mortgage. Okay, it took all of a day.
That's true.
There we go.
Whoever's paying the bills.
That's usually how it works.
But it's great. No, all right. So I just asked Jen this question, and I'm going to switch to you.
Okay.
All right, you're an integrator, and also a different part because I'm a distributor.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have integrator.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you come to an event like this? Besides, obviously, your customers are here, but what do you, as an integrator, look to get out of a show like this?
Well, I think there's multiple aspects to that. So as an integrator, we have strong partnerships with other manufacturers as well. So as equally important to us are our customers is also our manufacturer partnerships. And it goes both ways, right? And so we want to be able to support the different aspects that go into our designs.
Mm-hmm.
So as an integrator, we're also very agnostic. So we want to make sure that we're friendly with everybody and we're working towards the right solutions at the end of the day for our end users. So that's what's great. That's why I love being in the integration field, is that, I can really listen to my customers what they want, and I can provide them with a solution versus here's what I sell specifically. I really have an open bag here so that I can really offer what it is that they need.
Yeah, absolutely. So now with you both, and this is actually a question for both of you all. You walk table to table to table. All right, we've got, I'm going to take, you've got two integrated, two of your things you sell here.
Yeah.
I mean, if say integrated displays, right?
Mm-hmm.
You'll sell me whichever one I prefer, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But now, so how do you now guide your customers? You're here. This is a hodgepodge of everything, right? And all great solutions, whether, take them. Two big microphone companies here, both great solutions.
Sure.
How do you take the information that you get out of a show like this and then pass that on to help your customers make the best decisions?
Wow, that's such a good question.
I know, that's why I'm the host.
Well, I think there's a lot of aspects to it, right? So behind me is a team of people that are a lot smarter than me, and those are the engineers that I work with, and the people that are out in the field that are doing the work, boots on the ground every single day. So we want to take the experience that we have with certain elements of design and see which one is going to apply in each unique situation. Especially in education, it's never ever a cookie cutter typically, right? Each room is going to be different. The needs are going to be different. The end users are going to be different. Different professors are going to want different things. So I want to make sure that I'm kind of taking the unique nuances of what I'm learning about each product and how I can kind of tweak those to apply to the unique situations.
Yeah.
And then in that case, I'm going to bring it back to the engineers, and they're going to say, that might work and that might not work. So it's a lot of trial and error. But fortunately, we've, as an organization, have worked with a lot of these manufacturers for a long time. And that's what's great about us being a global company, is that maybe we haven't done it here in California, but we've done it somewhere else. And we can take what we've learned there and apply it.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that answer. Jen, can you beat that answer?
In 2 notes. No, I'm just kidding. Well, for me, from being the distributor, we carry several different, and being owned by a UK based distributor, we have access to lots of things. I'm going to do what's my customer wants, right? So I'm going to come in and help show the product that's there and get you the product too. And then I'll work with the resellers like the ABI SPLs to ensure that you're getting your product. And if it's not available, then we're going to help make the recommendation of something else. But my goal is to ensure what you guys want as the higher ed, as the institution, as my customer are doing what's going to fit in your environment. Because it's not always what I think. What I think is probably not what you need, but I'm going to help you get what you
We
need.
trust you. We trust you, though. We trust you both. All right. This was great. This is now the longest clip. So congratulations, Pete. Really quickly. So first, Jordan, how can people get a hold of you and learn more about ABI-SPL?
Yeah, so you can find me on LinkedIn, Jordan Finch, and it's Jordan with a U, Jourdan. You can find me there, or you can reach out to me at my ABI-SPL email address. We're also at www.abispl.com.
And by the way, it happens to be today one of our ABI-SPL higher ed people's birthdays, and that's Kevin.
Yeah.
Now, no one's listening to this on his birthday, so it's not really.
Not his birthday,
but there you go.
Happy birthday, Kevin, wherever you are.
There we go. And then, Jen, same question to you. How can people connect with you and also learn more about Starin?
So you can learn more about Starin at starin.biz, B-I-Z. And you can reach me at jennifer.weaver@starin.biz. And you can find me on LinkedIn. And I am on Twitter at jweaverstarin.
Awesome. Thank you both for coming on.
you.
And this was fantastic.
So fun.
I love it.
Appreciate it.
I love it. All right. Now I have to clear off what security warning from UCLA. Okay. Done. Did I just say that on the recording? I did. Okay.
That was so cool.
All right. We are back, and we are back live from the ETC sideshowish floor. Entryway, VIP entryway. Can I call it a VIP entryway?
Hey, go for it. Why
You
not?
know what?
It's your place.
It's not mine anymore.
Oh, sorry.
It's yours.
This is your booth.
But here, so all right. Well, before we get into why this is yours, how about you introduce yourself and tell people who you are and what you do?
Hey, my name is Will DeWitt. I'm the Learning Environments Manager for USC.
Awesome. And host campus.
Yes, now we're the host campus for ETC, which has been awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, well, go into that. I mean, obviously, it doesn't take people much to watch and know that I'm no longer here. I'm now with the enemy across the way.
Trader.
Yeah, that's all right. I can be bought.
You got the right outfit on
I'm even
too.
wearing
Yeah, the
blue.
Yeah.
Look at that. I'm getting into the blue. I'm working on it. And you're wearing the red.
Yeah. Hey, it works.
So, I bailed on y'all and left you to run the conference. That's why this is the best thing for me. I got to do all the classrooms, get all the credit, and have zero of the stress. It's perfect. But
I'll
how's the
try that
conference going?
sometime. That sounds like a
Do
good
it.
gig.
You know what? Bail. It's great.
Yeah.
I was just kidding everybody. Well, sort of. That's just a little bit. All right. Well, talk about the conference. I mean, how's it going so far? We're finishing up day 1 and a half. I don't know because there's half a day yesterday.
Yeah.
How's it going? And let's start there.
So things have been good. It's actually one of the most interesting things about having it on campus has been the opportunity to kind of introduce some of our students into the higher or to the wider world of higher ed and higher ed tech. Because I've had them ask, wait, is everybody here with that vendor or this vendor? I'm like, no, they're here with everybody. We've got people from all over the country that have come in. And so they're getting to see our campus, but we're also getting to kind of expose our campus and our students and our people to what else is out there.
That's pretty cool. Because and I never even really thought about that side of it. Is you think as you're a host, it's all outward, like here, show. You don't think that you get too. That's pretty cool. How's your staff handling it? How are they enjoying the show? All that stuff.
It's been good. It's always a little bit of a challenge because we're like, oh, we got to make sure this room's ready. We got to make sure this group's ready. But it's also given us a chance to sit in on some of the sessions because, we'll just dedicate a staff member. They can sit in on that session, monitor the room, make sure everything's going good. So it's worked out. It's just kind of been, it's been fun. It's been different. We don't normally get to do these kinds of conferences here at USC.
Yeah. And it's honestly, it's awesome to see. I'm a little sad that I'm not here to kind of be, but it's on the flip side. It's great. We're in this little corner doing our HETMA booth. We got that. It's great to step back though too and go, wow, we really did something great. And to see you take the team and move with them and just go, you know what? There's not a beat skipped or whatever the right words are. So one, applause to you for that. That is amazing to see. So what have you taken out of this so far?
Really just logistics. It's been a learning experience just dealing with outside groups, and we have different conferences come in, but we're usually not this intimately involved with it. So if you really miss it, I'll show you the Slack after this.
Oh, I don't. Oh, can I? No,
Yeah.
no. Well, everything always has the behind the scenes, right? But I can tell you that publicly, because I'm now out of it, you all shut my Slack off, and my email, and my access, and you didn't, I did by leaving, right? I technically brought it on myself. No, but there's always stuff behind the scenes. There's always a panic behind the scenes. You came through live events. You worked through like we both came through this, so we understand that. But I can tell you that on the front side, the public side, no one's seeing any of that.
And as you taught us, that's all that matters.
That's exactly.
It's actually been fun to walk into the conference room. I started off running conference tech for a school, and just go up to the guy and someone would go, so how are you feeling with all these tech people around and all these vendors and stuff? He's like, yeah, I just hope nothing goes wrong because all these people can tell. There's nowhere to hide. Everybody knows.
They would know in an instant, right? Yeah. I didn't even think about that. That's funny because it is a different department. It's not our department. I'm still taking credit for our department. Yeah. Neto, you got to put those down there so people can see them down there. You know, you have to like slowly take over. We had a Chris Neto sighting at our recording here. So there we go. Because Chris Neto is everywhere.
Not exactly subtle.
Not exactly.
No.
All right. So when this is over, and actually this is interesting. There are other schools that want to be able to host this campus, host the conference. Since this isn't being released till Tuesday, I'm gonna let something out because it won't out. So next year it's at Iowa State, right? Surprise! But no one's seeing this until Tuesday. It'll already be public by then. What do you think? Like, why should someone host it? What do you get out of it? You know, because most people think, oh my gosh, it's gonna be all the work and all that, and then you gotta do this. But there's got to be a positive reason. What is that positive reason? And when Saturday is done, campus tour is done, what do you hope to go? Yeah, this is why it was worth it.
Well, like I mentioned before, we've got the selfish reason of just the benefit it brings to us. But honestly, it's been really easy to work with the ETC crew. Like I said, I've come up through live events, did conference tech and stuff like that. And just they've got things together. They got it listed out, which makes things so much easier on your end when you can just look at the list and go, okay, we need this, we need that, we need the other thing, and not, oh, crap, everything's going, well, we forgot to tell you this, we forgot to tell you that. Oh, by the way, could you please do, you're like, but yeah. So it's been really easy to work with them and just, coordinate everything.
Yeah, it's funny because people were asking me, even I've only been 3 weeks. I'm gone, right? I mean, it's whatever. And people are like, how long? How hard is it to do a conference? And like you just said, I'm like, this is like the easiest thing to do because the ETC team is so good. You can tell they do this for a living. So when you're a host campus, you're like, they have the roadmap. You just click the boxes they tell you to click, right?
Yeah, they're like, we need these rooms. Okay. We'll get you those rooms, no problem.
Yeah. So talk a little bit about, since you're a host, the keynote today.
Yeah.
So tell people about what it was, about show, all that stuff. And I'm gonna leave it.
Okay. Yeah. So people don't know, Showa Foundation was started by Steven Spielberg after he made Schindler's List, because he was being contacted by all of these different survivors, which Showa is the Jewish word for the Holocaust, that wanted to tell their story. And so he kind of set out documenting the story of all these different people. And they've got some, you want to talk about some tech? They've got some really neat, like you can sit down and have a conversation with a Holocaust survivor, which is chilling.
Yes.
Really, just to see it and to be able to, and lucky for us, we're tech people. We're in the basement. they're up on the 4th floor, so they're right there. So we work with them a lot, and so it's a really neat foundation. And yeah, I really enjoyed the keynote this morning where he was just kind of filling everybody in and talking about it and all the stuff that they've had to go through. And yeah, it's just if you haven't seen it, check it out.
Yeah, it definitely just Google Showa Foundation. They have a lot of the videos there. They have a lot of what they're doing, and the cool thing is like that's when you can see you're using tech for good, right? Like this is why we do it.
Yeah.
You know, when you get into the classrooms, it's like, oh, another call about someone who can't figure out how to plug in an HDMI cable or whatever. But then you turn and you go, hey, hey, speaking of hey, then you turn and you go, yeah, technology can be done and used for social good. I don't even know what the right words are, but it's right?
That's just kind of a stark reminder to us about that, because it's easy to lose track, especially because we're here to educate students. We're here to teach. And there have been classes I've walked into and I'm just like, hey, teacher, do you mind if I just like sit down here and have a seat and listen to your lecture on whatever? Just because I forget how interesting it is, because we're always focused on get in, screen works, laptop works, presentations on, move on to the next fire. So yeah, I love anytime we get a chance to focus on exactly why we're here.
Yep, absolutely. Oh wow. No, that was good. That was good. That was a good answer. That was good. So now let's talk about the stuff that's selfish to me. What feedback? What do people think about USC? What feedback you getting?
Is there a mute button on this? No, it's been great. People liked it. I've had a couple people come up to me already. Actually, while we were crossing the street a little while ago, they're like, all right, so we've heard the shiny sales pitch. What are your real problems? And it's kind of nice to know we don't really have problems. Like we have user training issues. We have this odd glitch or that or a broken cord and stuff. But just the design that we have here and the way everything's set up, just there's not a whole lot that goes wrong.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot that can go wrong because it is simple. And while that does give you the opportunity for a single point of failure, it also makes it really easy to replace.
Yeah.
You just plug and play, move on to the next problem.
Yeah. No, that's good. And one of the things that I was always proud of for our team, and I know that I've always taken credit for it, but it really had a lot to do with people like you and the whole team here, is that we don't look at solutions like what technology we're going to put in the classroom. That's too simple and that's too narrow and that's too shallow. It's top-down approach, full user experience. What are they going through? So it's not just, okay, deciding the technology is one thing. And it's amazing technology. If you walk through, no one's ever done what we've done. But then your support team, the white glove service, making sure, the kind of, what kind of training we're going to do. Yes, and we're going to do everything.
Yeah.
We're going to go and we're going to make sure that everything is taken care of at every step along the way. And you have a dedicated person to do that. And I think that's also what makes it special. And I've always said to people when they go, oh, well, like I've always joked that, why did we always just give away our line drawings? Because they don't do anyone any good.
Yeah.
Here you go. Here's the line drawings. It's every other piece along the way that makes the formula work. Right. And hopefully people are getting a sense of that.
I think so. It's really one of the things that stood out to me when I came in. It's not what are we going to put in, it's how are people going to use it. So they're going to want to do these things. How can we make that as easy as possible? Which then simplifies the training, simplifies the equipment, simplifies the troubleshooting. Once you bake in just ease of use, then that really helps. Now, granted, we've got, all this stuff on the back end that they can troubleshoot, the logs, everything else that you need, but the user doesn't need to see that. They should never see any of that.
Yeah.
They don't need to know how the magic's done. They just need to know you walk in and your magic people come in, fix it, and walk out. And then you got to try as hard as you can not to make them feel dumb, because they don't know that, well, there were really like 10 things I did real quick. You just didn't know what I was doing.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I gotta say it's great to be here. It's great to see you in action, having the team go, and to be able to showcase that. It's really one of the reasons why we've wanted to bring ETC here. So I'm having a little FOMO, but not really, everybody. I'm actually really happy I left. But that's a whole other. Just kidding. No, congratulations to you. I give you a huge standing ovation, and not because I'm actually standing right now, but I either way, you're knocking it out of the park. You put on an amazing show. I will tell you that so far we're only halfway through. This is my favorite ETC so far, and not just because I'm biased. So you're doing phenomenal. I can tell people love it. This is, I think, the most attended ETC so far.
I heard something about that, but I don't know for sure. Yeah.
But
also we got to give credit, and you'll probably interview them as well. But Lex, Raj, Chi, our whole group that's really kind of pitched in. Hunter, all of them have been like, we've been working on this for a couple weeks just to kind of iron everything out and get everything lined up.
Yeah, no, totally. Huge round of applause to you. Last question. How do people connect with you, learn more about you and all that stuff?
I'm available at email, wdewitt@usc.edu, and on Twitter, Will, the letter R, DeWitt.
All right. Well, thank you very much for coming. Great show.
Thank you.